This is the weekend edition of Fear and Greed Daily Business News for people who make their own decisions. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, very excited about today because I'm feeling like we've got that victorious feeling. It kind of comes from deep within because this is a competition. It is about the two of us each nominating what we think is the biggest business story of the week, the most remarkable business story, a sleeper story as well, and then our favourite business-ish story for the week. And it is a competition, as I said, and we need a judge to determine a winner, and that judge is our Fear and Greed colleague, Adam Lang. Adam, good morning.
Hello, Michael, and hello, Sean.
Hello, Adam. We've been celebrating the last couple of days. One of the three of us has turned another year older.
Well, he would say the most important of the three.
He would indeed. We got no such, like Adam and I will almost share a birthday. We're a day apart.
You're pretty much twins.
It always happens over the Christmas break, so no one cares. However, Michael Thompson, 47. Congratulations.
Oh, please.
But you only look 46.
There isn't even a 4 in front of it yet. Like I'm still, soon, give me another year. Thank you. So look, I do just want to make this abundantly clear though, that if I win today, it is on merit. It is not a birthday gift.
It's a legit win.
What are you looking for today in your criteria as we go through these stories? I'm assuming one criteria is a certain amount of kind of
je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
So even more than normal. Topicality, timeliness, economic impact. I would like you to pay attention to my subjective bias, my love for reform, and melodrama, please.
Okay. We can do that. All right.
Can do.
Who wants to go first?
Well, last week we just had a draw because Donald Trump taking power, no one was going to beat that. This week, how about you go first this week, Michael?
All right. I am so pleased to be going first. You know what? I'm pleased for 2025. And do you know why I'm pleased for 2025?
Not yet.
Why? Because it means I am freed from the shackles of economics. Because last year, if there was any economic story at all through the week, I knew I was going to be doing it. Because Sean put himself on a self-imposed ban for the duration of 2024, part of an epic dummy spit. So now I was free to look.
It wasn't a dummy spit. It was a protest at the appalling judging that occurred in 2024, notwithstanding that mostly I won.
Yeah, I thought it was quite a well-executed, a formal protest.
Yeah, it was a formal protest. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, one man's formal protest is another's dummy spit, right? It had all the hallmarks of a dummy spit, but we'll leave that in the past where it belongs. It meant, though, that I can look elsewhere for the bigger story. And this week, there was only one big story, and it was not to do with the economy. It was the biggest global story that everybody was talking about. It's got local impact as well, Adam, so it ticks every box. AI, Chinese AI company, DeepSeek, launched its new chatbot. It is a rival to ChatGPT. And as we talked about through the week, this thing is not necessarily smarter. It is not faster. It is not actually better than ChatGPT, but according to all the reports, particularly out of China, it is cheaper, significantly cheaper. It only took something like 2 months and under $6 million to build, compared to the billions and billions and billions of dollars that the US tech giants are pouring into it. Like Meta this year is spending something like $60 billion this year alone on AI. Right, so that just to give you an example of the staggering difference between kind of the US operations and now this essentially a Chinese startup that's been in operation for less than kind of 18 months. So the impact was immediate. The impact was significant. NVIDIA shares tumbled 17% in one session, around $1 trillion worth of value wiped off. The biggest one-day fall in value for a company ever in history, ever.
Has it happened before?
No, it hasn't. It's ever, Sean, in history. Like for the entire duration of humans, this is the biggest ever. There are two main reasons, right, why this has sent shockwaves around the world, to Australia as well, local impact. It has reshaped the expectations of what an AI future would be. So in terms of the expectation that there would be extraordinary demand for processing power, that now we may not need these high-end, super expensive $30,000 for a single processor from NVIDIA may not be necessary, because this thing, DeepSeek, was developed using apparently kind of the lower end of the range that you can get from NVIDIA. So lower demand for high-end processors. And the other big reason, the other big question here is that it raised concerns about US dominance over the AI revolution. They may not be as dominant as they thought. This is an arms race within the world of AI, and the US may not actually be winning as everybody thought it was, because there were sanctions preventing Chinese companies from getting access to these chips. And hey, they may not have actually worked. Shockwaves, as I mentioned, through markets globally. The US, they followed through. There was a big flow through right through to Australia, Adam. Questions over the accuracy of the claims by DeepSeek, whether it actually did happen that quickly, whether the cost was as low as they said, but in the end, the effect was still the same. Staggering. What was your runner-up, Sean?
So I think that was a massive story for 24 hours. It really was. It came and then it went.
It lingers, Sean. It lingers.
The share prices bounce. You talked about NVIDIA's share price diving. Did you see how much it put on the next day?
You know what, Sean? These feel like insignificant and irrelevant details.
Leaving that aside, I'm going to talk about a story that has sustainable, long-lasting impact. This week, we found out that in all likelihood, the Reserve Bank will cut interest rates next month. Now, Adam, can I point out?
So that happened this week?
Very, very, very little impact overseas. I mean, some impact overseas, but not that much. Local impact. Hello, bring it home. We've got homeowners, we've got business owners, we've got corporates with all this debt, we've got share prices. We have those poor old superannuants who are relying on their term deposits, not going to get as much, right? This is big news. What happened? Inflation figures came in. For the December quarter, the underlying rate of inflation, the most important one, came in at 0.2%, which, no, that's a lie. I'm making it up. Headline inflation, 0.2% and 2.4% for the year. Underlying inflation
it's turned into me,
zero,
Adam. It's just filling in gaps with made-up figures.
Making it up. The underlying inflation rate, all important, is 0.5%, 3.2% for the year. What the 0.5% shows that underlying inflation is still falling. As a result, we had the big four banks, already Commonwealth Bank and ANZ, believed that there's going to be a rate cut next month. Now we have National Australia Bank and Westpac on board too. Westpac's really important because their chief economist, a woman called Lucy Ellis, used to be the chief economist at the Reserve Bank. She should know what's going on. So these inflation figures we're all hoping would be reasonably soft. They were, and now it looks like we're going to get a rate cut next month. That has serious local impact.
Over to me. Over to me.
Can I just make one final point? AI is going to define markets for the foreseeable future. It is going to spread its computerized tentacles throughout every single part of our daily lives and our work lives and business globally, right? And what we saw was all of the assumptions that the AI revolution is based on being upended.
Can I make a suggestion, Adam, as judge?
Please.
Can I make a suggestion? Because I did it and now Michael's done it. For some reason this year you are allowing us to rebut the absolute garbage that's coming out of the other person's mouth. I think you should just say, no, you can't do that. Like, I did it to Michael. Michael did it to me. It's going to take this show longer and longer and longer.
Yes.
From next week, no more rebuttals.
Well, okay. Can we agree demerits will be given if any rebuttal happens?
Oh, I love a good demerit. Yes, please.
So if you can risk an involuntary rebuttal, right? But it may cost you.
Rebuttal is a funny word, isn't it, really?
Stop taunting him, Sean.
I'm mature now. I've had a birthday, so I don't laugh at things like that.
Okay. Dead heat. Reason being, Michael, it's not the beginning of AI. They've done it cheaper in energy, and they've caught up, and there's some real question mark. So how did they do it so quickly and so cheaply? So this story I think will go on for quite a bit. Sean, the CPI figure for me is so important, but it wasn't low enough to really secure, I think, a sure interest rate drop. And God, that'll be interesting to watch in the coming weeks. I just think it's just such an important number, but not clear in terms of its indication of where we're going to go from here. So dead heat on that one.
$1 trillion lost in a single day.
Yeah, and then a whole bunch of it came back.
Every chief economist saying rates are going to fall.
You know what I love most about this is the fact that we are equally annoyed with the decision. This is quite rare.
I would say that a draw is a fair result. The reasoning is garbage, though. Righto, let's get on.
Good.
Michael, might be my turn to go first.
You go first. I went first on the biggest story.
What are we talking about? Remarkable?
Remarkable story, Sean. Keep it together. Keep it together.
Look, I mean, remarkable stuff happens, right? It does. Every day. But, the triple. This week, the Aussie share market, notwithstanding all this carry-on that's going on everywhere, hit a new record high. That's on the back of what was the most important story of the week, people expecting a rate cut next month. Quite remarkable. Hit a new high this week, surpassing the peaks of December last year. Really strong start to the year, up about 4 or 5%. What's incredible to me? What is incredible? You know, banks, they shouldn't do so well when interest rates are falling. Yet, this year, once again, they're leading the way. Westpac, Commonwealth Bank up nearly 5%. NAB and ANZ up nearly 8%. Crazy stuff. Gold price is doing well as a result. We're having the gold companies do well. Northern Star's up nearly 10%. This time around, though, and this does reflect interest rates, the consumer discretionary stocks are doing well. So when interest rates start to fall, people have more money in their pocket. They spend more money on stuff. So companies like Wesfarmers, which owns Bunnings and Officeworks and Kmart, Aristocrat Leisure, the gaming machine manufacturer, Harvey Norman, JB Hi-Fi, they've all done really well. It is quite remarkable that this share market is where it is. Morningstar have done some work. They reckon that our share market is about 9% overvalued, and they say Wall Street's about 4% overvalued. The challenge for the next couple of weeks is that we're coming into earnings season. So any company that disappoints is going to be sold off big time. Even those that do well may not get a big jump. Now, this is not an investment podcast. I can't predict share prices, but it is certainly remarkable that our share market has stayed so strong, particularly the banks, how they just keep going. That is a remarkable story this week. Stop rolling your eyes, Michael. Over to you.
I'm not rolling my eyes. I just love how you were able to kind of frame the local market hitting a record as a remarkable story. Do you know how many times it hit a record in 2024? 24 times. 24 times.
So isn't it remarkable that it's still going? That's the
5
point.
all-time highs by March of last year. 24 by the end of the year.
Very close to a
Do you know what
rebuttal.
can I just also say,
Demerits.
firstly, it's a rebuttal. Second, Michael yesterday asked me what I was going to do. So I did the right thing and told him. So he has obviously gone and done research just to kick me on the way through, which
Cunning.
I absolutely hate. Though part of me is like, yeah, bugger. A good
Got
idea.
your beauty.
yeah, totally. Right, Michael, what's remarkable?
Mine's a positive story. I don't want to get stuck in all of that negativity. Even though I brought it
Having
up.
started it.
Yep, that's right. I've got a good success story. I love a great success story. We all do here on Fear and Greed. And Chemist Warehouse is the Australian business success story of 2025. I know it's very early to call it, but it is the... Don't say anything, Sean. Just stop. Stop. This week, shareholders gave the green light to the merger between Chemist Warehouse and Sigma Pharmaceuticals. It is an example of the very intriguingly named reverse takeover.
It gets tiresome. Demerit point, Adam. Demerit point.
No, gosh, you two are just dull. You are just dull. Here I was when I was researching. I'm like, reverse takeover. Ooh, backdoor entry to the ASX, and I had a good giggle to myself for about 2 or 3 minutes as I was researching this story, and then I thought,
laughing in his study.
Yep, that's right. Anyway, Chemist Warehouse is the much bigger part of the business. Sigma being the listed company. Anyway,
See, no matter what he says at this point, it's gone.
I've lost all credibility.
Absolutely. It's
backdoor. Anyway, I'm mature now. Together, these two create an extraordinary unit, a $30 billion company. It's cleared all kinds of hurdles to get to this point, and it has made some people very, very, very wealthy. Chemist Warehouse is a family-owned business. The founders, 3 of them, they'll all be billionaires. 13th of Feb is when shares in the new big entity start trading. This is what, Adam, the ASX needs. New life. New, exciting life. This is going to affect a lot of investors, plenty of index funds that will be forced to buy into the company just because it is so darn big. A $30 billion company, one of the most recognizable brands in the country. And Adam, I know that you're a fan of marketing and brands and all of these things. Chemist Warehouse, very recognizable, created a whole stack of new millionaires as well over 100 Chemist Warehouse kind of investors, people who are already part of the business, senior executives, franchisees who have left with now stock in the new company, bunch of millionaires, hundreds, somewhere between 100 and 200, that counts as hundreds. It is big. It is remarkable. It is the Australian success story of 2025.
So why is it remarkable this week? That's the part I don't get.
Shareholder green light.
Shareholder green light?
Yeah, the final hurdle.
So you reckon that the 3 Chemist Warehouse guys who own it say, well, we're going to make $15 billion out of this deal. Do you reckon we should do it? I don't know, maybe.
Bit risky. Not
Yes,
sure.
It was the final hurdle, and now it has been cleared.
Adam, over to you.
Yeah, so great story. And do you know how they celebrated, Michael?
I did see this, and this is how I would celebrate.
Isn't it
too.
awesome?
Yeah.
They went back to the Olympic Hotel for a schnitty.
It's just amazing, isn't it?
Such a great founder story of like 50 years in the making. Wonderful.
What, have they got the Parmigiana or not?
See, that is a good question.
Yeah,
Tells a lot about a person, doesn't it? Of course, I'm a celiac. Can't have either of them. Anyway, it's not about me. Great story, but Michael, it for me wasn't this week. You know, we knew this was coming. And so, yes, remarkable. But it was a done deal some time ago. And so I think that for all of Sean's points, it's a record. Yeah, there's been a number of records, but that's the nature
24.
of them. Yet another one has been broken.
Now 25.
And so early in the year, what a start. But also, as Sean said, the reporting season that's coming and the risk of being overvalued, the risk of interest rate changes or not happening. So it's a delicate balance, and so many trillions are affected. So I think Sean has to win for Remarkable Story of the Week.
Okay.
Let's take a break.
This is a family podcast, Sean. We're trying to model good sportsmanship.
Yeah.
For all
A
the
family. Well, Michael. Yeah. Anyway, let's just let it.
Apologies for any parents who need to do some explaining.
That's right.
We'll take a quick break, come back with a sleeper story. All right, Sean, we are looking for a sleeper story of the week, one that's flying under the radar a little bit.
You go first. You go first on this one.
I couldn't even decide that. Look, cast your minds back, gentlemen, to 1998.
Oh, God, here we go.
Which was the UN designated International Year of Oceans. 1999.
Of course.
1999 was the International Year of Older Persons. One for the two of you. 2001 was the International Year of Volunteers. 2025, my prediction, will be the year of competition between Australian banks to lure deposits and savings account customers.
Oh, my God.
It's not quite as catchy, but it's very important. CanStar analysis this week revealed how banks are using perks and cashback offers to lure customers. We are talking everything. They are just throwing
Lure.
See, funnily enough, I was trying to lure you into saying the word lure because you say it in such a creepy way that it's just it stays with you. Do it one more time. This is for the families.
Lure.
Oh, creepy as heck. The sign-on bonuses, referral cash, ongoing discounts, there are rewards points, there are donations being made in your name to various charities. Like, every single thing is on offer. They are trying to attract people to bank with them for their deposits and everyday transaction accounts because, as Sean, we discussed through the week, it gives banks access to money to fund their lending. And it is cheap money, the cheapest they can get. So you can suddenly understand why they are all so desperate to get it. So this is it. This is the year when the humble everyday savings account becomes the hottest commodity in town. Every bank is going to want it. And there are going to be bonuses galore to lure you in. Shop around. That's the best piece of advice. And remember who told you about it. The man of the people, Michael Thompson. You heard it here first.
Right. Let me give you a sleeper story that actually matters.
Seems mean.
And ironically, it involves Donald Trump. Because. What has he done in the last 10, 12 days? So, Adam, allow me to kind of push beyond the last 7 to go to the last 10. He's removed criminal illegal aliens from the US of A. He's toughened border defences. He's watered down and withdrew Biden-era regulations from the economy, climate, abortion. He's froze all federal grants and offered bias to federal civil service workers. He's given executive orders to create an Iron Dome missile defence. He's barred transgender groups from serving in the military. He's reinstated those discharged from the military for refusing a COVID vaccine. He's killed the diversity, equity and inclusion programs. He's moved to withdraw from the World Health Organization, the Paris Climate Agreement. He's ended birthright citizenship. He's declassified records on the assassinations of JFK and MLK, Martin Luther King. He's pardoned 170 January 6 rioters, and he's only just starting, right? So he is on a tear. That's the fact. The sleeper part. He's done this by executive order. But it can actually be undone. Now, the next president can come and undo everything that Donald Trump has done with, the slash of a pen or whatever they actually do. Congress has the power to overturn an executive order by passing legislation that invalidates it. The Congress, I know that the Republicans have the Congress, but it's not like Australia where everyone votes along party lines. Congress, already some of the stuff he's done, you've had all sorts of Republicans voting against it. Congress can also withhold funding for a lot of these orders. The point is, Trump is bluff and bluster. Always has been. He's fantastic at it. But can he actually get these shock and awe executive orders to stick? He's got to deal with Congress. The sleeper part of this is we're all up in arms about Donald Trump and some of the things he's done, or people are up in arms about some of the things he's done. Others are very, very supportive. But at the end of the day, the next president can reverse them. And in fact, Biden reversed a third of Donald Trump's executive orders in his 4-year term. But more importantly, he's got to get it through Congress. He's got to get money out of Congress. And Congress is not necessarily behind Donald Trump. So all this stuff we're talking about may not be. Some of it will, obviously, but a bunch of it won't be. My sleeper story, Adam.
Both really good, actually. Sean, it's just been such a spectacle out of the US. Donald Trump, the executive orders and the reactions to them. Like we've already seen one get reversed. So that was pretty quick.
But, I mean, the next 4 years, lawyers are going to make a stack of money.
And that's a fascinating point. Like Washington will grind into action on this. And it'll be
or quite the opposite. They'll grind to a halt because everything will be caught in Congress.
True. And so this can suck up a huge amount of oxygen. When it comes to Australia affecting people, and Michael, your point really valid on the battle for bank deposits, which, great. But the cost of living, how much deposits have we all got to make? And so I know that that's a very general comment, and it is very interesting. But so I can't split these two stories. It's another dead heat, half a point each.
When Michael starts nodding his head, yeah, he knows he's got away with it.
I'm not saying anything.
He feels lucky to have gotten something.
No, so what's our score? It is 2-1.
2-1. 2 Sean, 1 Michael.
That's a birthday gift.
No, that's legit. This is the
You can still bring
year.
it home, Michael. Come on.
Yeah, indeed. All right.
Okay.
Favorite story. You go first, Sean.
Well, what I loved this week was data from Expedia in its report called Air Hacks that tells us when to book an airline flight. So booking an international airfare on a Sunday, 8 weeks in advance, flying on a Thursday, preferably in January, best way to save money on airfares. Who knew? Well, Air Hacks knew. It looked at bookings, hundreds of thousands of bookings across its site. It found if you book on a Sunday, you can save as much as 17% off international fares, 20% off domestic fares. If you fly overseas on a Thursday, and who doesn't want to fly overseas on a Thursday? Everyone wants. Well, you can save 8%. Fly domestically on a Saturday morning, 27%.
Look for Sean's holiday booking coming.
That's right, January. Alas, it's over. Cheapest month for domestic and international travel. It's about 11% less than September. Quietest month for air travel is February, this month. So if you want the extra seat, jump on. In terms of when you should book, 8 weeks ahead for international travel, not the 6 months that people talk about, the 12 months that people talk about. And domestic, it's 6 months. My favourite story, because, we all travel, we all use planes. This is telling me how to get cheap deals. That's what life is about as far as I'm concerned. It is. How much of your time over the holidays was spent thinking about your next holiday?
Jackie, actually.
Yeah, Jackie and I don't like coming home from a holiday without having thought through and often booked the next one. Yeah.
So where have you booked, Sean?
Oh dear.
Oh dear, you have caught me out somewhat. We have booked.
When is it, Sean?
Off air.
No, look, I think late August, September, we might need Jen Duke to come and help out.
That 6 month window sort of came in relevant.
6 month window, that's
to
exactly
the Aylmer
right.
household.
Norway, Iceland.
Oh, fantastic. Great idea.
I don't know how to say Reykjavik, though. Is that how you say it?
Reykjavik.
Reykjavik, there you go. I didn't know how to say it. Michael, over to you.
You have taken a lot of time here, Sean. And
as he will later in the year.
Yes. Savage. Well played, Adam. If I was the judge, I would give you a bonus mark for that one. Can I just do my favourite story, please? Because we are running out of time, and you've left me with very little time here, Sean. There's really only one option for favourite story of the week, and we are united in the fact that we all miss the Concorde, right? I'm sorry that I wasn't joking with that. I thought we were genuinely missing the Concorde. Anyway, there is a new Concorde for a new generation. And this week, the Boom Supersonic XB1 broke the sound barrier for the first time. It flew faster than 1,240 kilometers per hour. There are a bunch of reasons why this is so darn exciting. It is the first civilian aircraft to achieve that feat since the Concorde was retired more than 20 years ago. It took off from an airstrip near Edwards Air Force Base in California, flew through the Bell X-1 supersonic corridor and the Black Mountain supersonic corridor for 35 minutes. It is almost difficult to kind of overstate how significant this is. This is a massive step.
Has a plane never broken the sound barrier?
No commercial aircraft has done it since the Concorde, Sean. I thought I made that abundantly clear.
So when was the Concorde, when did that first fly? 70?
This is a massive step. So the test aircraft is 1/3 I stay quiet while you're talking. I rarely interject, even though your stories are universally dull and need me in them. The test aircraft is 1/3 the size of the full Overture airliner, the actual plane. The company, and here's the economic significance of this, the business impact, the company has already received 130 orders for this jet from American Airlines, from United, from Japan as well. This is significant. This is going to change international aviation. Flying from London to New York in 3.5 hours. We are going back to the efficient days of the Concorde. Couple of fun facts for you. Looks like you both want some fun facts. Remember how the Concorde had the nose?
I just want it to end.
Well, you are the one that slows me down, you goose. You know how the Concorde, right? Looking at this, right?
We're a podcast. People can't see your hand.
They can see it because we do videos and things on TikTok and Instagram.
Come on.
So picture this as the Concorde when it's flying. Then when it is taking off and landing, right?
Yeah.
It has a big nose droop, right? And so the nose is lowered for takeoff and landing. And that has nothing to do with anything except for the fact it was done so that the pilots could actually see. They couldn't see past the nose in order to do it. How does this new jet get past that challenge? They don't have a droopy nose. No, they use augmented reality vision. Essentially, it is like they've got cameras and everything mounted all around it so they can see what they are seeing on the screen without actually needing to look out the window.
Is that augmented reality?
Yes.
Isn't it just a video of what's going on?
No, it's not. It's augmented reality, Sean, in many ways. Too many ways for me to explain.
Come on.
Yeah, done. And so that's really cool because that means then it can stay perfectly straight, perfectly flat, perfectly aerodynamic and streamlined, and then it can get to those speeds without causing the friction that overheats the plane, etc., which is some of the many problems that have been experienced with supersonic travel in the past.
Did you do much research on this story?
Oh, I love this story. Full circle for the US, this goes. You know why? Because when the Concorde was being developed in the 60s, right?
God,
Do you know? No. You took up too much time. You know who was competing to beat the Concorde?
Who?
So Kennedy in the 60s said the US is going to do this as well. We are going to have our own supersonic aircraft. Right? And so there was this big push in the US to try and get their own supersonic commercial airliner going. And so there were all these plans. Boeing ended up running with it, flying with it.
So you had to explain to many people who weren't alive in the 70s and 60s and the Concorde era who made the Concorde. The point being that
it was the British and the French.
Yeah, it wasn't the US. That's the point.
Yeah, correct. Yeah. But everybody knows that.
No, they don't, Michael. They
Fine.
don't.
Anyway, full story, long story short, full circle, comes all the way back to now. This is an American-designed and built supersonic civilian aircraft 60 years later. What a story. It is a story for the ages. Adam, I've left you not much time for a judgment.
Yes. So, look, what happened the first time? It wasn't commercially viable. And I wonder whether it'll be commercially viable again. So it's very interesting, right? But
this
it's
time
such
it will
a
be.
niche, such a niche. And Sean, I was wondering with your Expedia story, will you have to book this supersonic craft 2 months ahead for cheap international
Excellent
travel?
question.
On a Thursday.
Yeah. That's probably the only way I'll ever
flying in
look
January.
at the rates.
Yeah.
That's right. So, Michael, happy birthday. You win favourite story of the week.
Not related in any way to the birthday, though, right? That's
No.
2-2.
Remarkably, it's 2-2.
That was a better story, though. Like, that was Sean's just a bit of data. Like that's just anyway.
No, yours is a better story.
And what was the scores overall?
Gee, some of those other ones you didn't deserve half a point on, but
but I still got them.
Also, happy birthday. A draw, 91 points each.
See, I reckon that's a win for you, Michael. I'm happy to go with that.
I'm actually.
It felt like it was a win for Michael.
All right, there we go. We are done. And you know what? I'm happy with the draw. That's a good result for me. Thank you very much, Adam.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you, Sean.
Thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Adam. Thanks, Michael.
And make sure you're following the podcast, and please join us online on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was Fear and Greed. Have a great weekend.